Hi, I'm Diana from South Bay Kids Connection,
And I'm Master.
and today we are going to be reviewing
Too much,
Too Little, Just Right. And this is a great game to work on your communication skills. So in this game, they use the balloon analogy of just right and or too much, the balloon popping, or too little, the balloon deflating. And how they do that, they associate it with the language. So too much would be too aggressive, too loud, too sarcastic. Too little would be too passive, too shy, not speaking up that you can't hear the person. And
just right is assertive and not aggressive or passive.
Great. So in this game, we have 3 different types of cards. We have message cards, we have balloon cards, and we have action cards. Okay, so if you are the person who is going to be the speaker or the doer, you get to choose between either a message
or an action card.
Or an action. Hold on one second. And then if you are not that person, you're going to be a listener. Now the listeners each get these cards, okay? I say this on the other side, and they use the deflated balloon for too little. This is just right. And this is just too much. Okay, so now the person who has the either message card or the action card can choose whatever they want. They can choose if they want to be too aggressive or too passive or just right. It's up to them. And the point is that they want to say or do their action in a way that is going to be easy for me, the listener, to interpret. And then you're going to
choose what you think that I'm trying to do.
Exactly. Okay. So if I'm the listener, I have my 3 cards ready, and I'm going to be listening to what he's doing. So let's do an example. Do you want to do an action or do you want to do a message?
I'll do a message.
Okay. So I'm going to be listening.
It's your fault.
Okay. So I chose. Now if you have more group of people, they can all choose kind of secretly. Don't reveal it yet. And then we ask the person who did it, what was it?
Too little.
Too little. And I was correct. It was too little. Now, technically, the way they have the game is they have these chips that count for points. I have actually never used them because I usually don't like to keep score during a game. We just do it for the fun of it. But it is kind of a good idea because if your kids are incentivized by this, because it'll give them a reason to not just fool around, to actually not to give it their best.
The one thing is, if you're playing the game for fun, I'd recommend not using them just because people could purposely do the wrong thing to try and win.
But here's the thing. If you do it correctly and I guess it right, you get 2 points.
Oh.
Yeah, so they do account for that. Yeah, that's why I usually don't do points, but in this case, that's a really good point. So I would give him 2 points, and if I guessed it right, I only get 1 point. So it really does incentivize the person who is the one doing the listening or the action. Now, do the action. Let's do a.
There's also this thing.
Right. So this is a slider that I like to give the person who's actually doing the action or the message because there's only one. And so that way they can tell us, they don't even have to say, oh, it was too little, it was too late.
They can say how much and more accurately. If someone thought, it was I thought that it was just right, but they said that it was too little, you can show them what you are trying to do.
Great, yes, because it's a spectrum, right? That's a great point.
And just skipping between one end, the middle, and the other end isn't as accurate.
That's exactly right. The other thing is you want to have a conversation about this. You just don't want to say, yes, it was too passive, I got it right, boom, point. No, the whole point is, discussing it. You can go in different directions. For example, if you got it wrong, you can say, oh, I thought I was doing it too low. And they say, oh, it was still too loud, or vice versa. Or, has this happened to you before? Or do you usually get shy when you have to say this sort of thing? Or do you find yourself like speaking loudly a lot at school or different contexts? So there's a lot of different ways that you can go with it. Just use the kids there that and what you know about them to elicit conversations from their life. And then, so we have also an action, which is another option. So he reads the action and he's going to do it. Again, too much, too little, or just right.
A message is something that you'll say. I could stop. I could yell that or just say it quietly. But an action is something that the person is going to do. The other person is basically going to see how much you're exaggerating that motion.
So go ahead. I can see you thinking.
Wait, hold on, I didn't think of a thing.
Okay, I would say, see now this is, I would say either that's just right or that's a little bit too much. What were you going for? Show me on here. Oh, you were going for, yeah, so that's kind of why I was confused. You were kind of going for it in the middle there. Now, here's the other great thing about this game. Not all things are black and white. If he's saying hello and waving like this, we might be saying, oh, it's way too much. But what if it's somebody you haven't seen in a really long time?
What if it's like a good friend who came back from a vacation?
Exactly.
You'd be very excited.
That's right.
And not really realize it.
So you just have those conversations, and whenever in doubt like that, I just give the points, you know, the maximum points to whoever, because it's way more important, the discussion around it, or it just drives home the point that all social skills are context.
Wait, you're telling me that if I can get it right and have a good conversation, then I can get double the points?
That's what I'm saying.
We have a new strategy.
There you go. And so the game also comes up with this little point scoreboard. I don't use it. It's just,
I never knew there was points.
I never used this. I've had this game for 4 years. I've never used it. There's no point. It's just fun to do. So this is great. The ages for this game, they say, are 5 to 12. I would say 12 is pushing it. I would say more on the younger side, right? Like 5 to
like
10 maximum. 12, 10. I'd say 5 to 9. That's it, I think, right? Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us. Let us know if you have any suggestions for other games that we can review with you and that you think might be good in your groups.
And bye.
Bye.
That was a little.